And I'm going to speak about Analytics Cloud. It's a new product, okay? I have this advantage. It's a new product, so I suppose that anything that I can tell you is gonna be good, is gonna be right for you. And Rudy was speaking about, he was speaking also about analytics, about get to know your customer, about generating that kind of trust. So, well, let's see if Analytics Cloud can help you in all of this trip. So let's start with what is it, okay? What is Analytics Cloud? Why are we investing so much in this new product, even in the market that there is with analytics, etc.? So first of all, analytics is our product that wants to help you in order to understand better your customers and how are they using your digital touchpoints, okay? And by digital touchpoints, I'm talking about a customer portal, a mobile app, a corporate website, whatever digital channel that you may have, and you are investing in it in order to gain attraction, in order to gain new customers, etc. Okay? Analytics Cloud is software as a service. Okay? You don't have to install nothing on your installation. You will need a connector in order to send data to our cloud, but you don't need nothing else. Okay? We are providing the systems. We are providing the, let's say, non-SQL databases, etc., artificial intelligence, analytics, in top of everything, just to understand what are your users doing, what are the most viewed pages, etc. So why? Why are we investing in this? What are the challenges that the IT guys have today? We were talking about this yesterday, and in fact, it's more or less the same message, but now focused to analytics, okay? So nowadays, the data is still siloed, okay? We have information from a customer in many different places. In every company, we have information in the CRM, in the IRP, in the billing system. If you have a support team, then the support team has its own information also. So it's hard to mix them all and to provide a unified view of, at least in the analytics point of view, okay, at least in the customer journey that we are talking about. So it's hard to provide this kind of unified view of my customer, okay? And it's hard also to prove if my actions, if my channels are working, okay, if they are right, if I have to invest more or less in some channels. It's also hard, because if I don't have the analytics, if I don't have that vision, I cannot know what's happening. So here, just pretending some quotes, some needs that departments inside a company have, I have some quotes, okay? Like saying that, okay, I'm IT, and what I want to provide a single truth of view, a single point of view to my marketers, to my business users, to my account managers, in order to have a good vision of what my customers are using, what my customers are doing, etc. What about marketing? What about communication teams? What do they want? They want to know what is the content that is working. They want to know what is the content that I should improve or I should eliminate if that is the case, etc. This is a need from marketing. And finally, I have a meeting tomorrow with a customer. I'm gonna meet this lead in 2 days, etc. And I want to know things. I want to go to that meeting, and I want that meeting to be effective, okay? So I need information. Again, I need information, and I need information that's gonna worth it, that's gonna help me in the process. So those are the challenges. Let's see how Analytics Cloud is gonna try to answer those challenges. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to highlight some key concepts. Of course, I'm not going to mention anything new It's like everyone, if you have any experience with analytics, you'll see that our key concepts in Analytics Cloud are almost the same. So we are talking about people, interactions, and of course, we have some data sources. We have some data that we will be connecting, and we'll see in the following slides. Okay, so about people. People. Okay, these are the individuals, the personas that come to my website. Sometimes I do know them, and sometimes there are unknown users, and they are interacting with my channels. I can group them in different ways. Okay, I can have accounts in the meaning of grouping persons that belong to the same company, and I can group them also using user segments. Okay, so maybe they have a common behavior, or maybe they have a common characteristic. Then I can create a segment and get to analyze that kind of segment, that kind of account, and see what's happening at that level. Okay, how are they interacting with my pages, but at different levels, at individual, then accounts, then user segments. This is people. Then I have interactions. So how the people are interacting with my channels, with my pages, if I'm talking about a site, but also with my assets. I'll try to explain during this presentation, why we think that our product is different from another products that you may know, and what are we offering in that way, in that sense. Okay, so one of these key differentiators that we are offering is that our metrics try to go into the asset level, okay, into the specific content. Nowadays, we have pages that are very complex with unlimited scroll, then content that is being changed. If you are using audience targeting, then because of your behavior, the content may change, etc. So you need this kind of analytics that go into the asset level, into the content level, not only in the ad page level, okay? So we'll see later. Today, my goal now in this speak is just to provide you the whys and the reasons for this product, and later on, we'll see a demo in the business track about Analytics Cloud, okay? And finally, the third key concept that I wanted to mention is data sources, okay? So we need data. We need to take this data from your systems, analyze it, and offer it to you, okay? So we'll see later in the roadmap that we expect to have many different data sources, but right now, we can connect out of the box with Liferay DXP and with CSV files. Well, maybe CSV files is nothing new, more new, but we'll see that with CSV files, you can enrich your customer profiles very easy, and that have, in the end, you can have this kind of single customer view in your system, okay? So, benefits. What about benefits? Why should I use Analytics Cloud? Okay, so some benefits that we can highlight. First of all, remind the challenges that I was talking about. So first of all, you want to know how are your content performance. You want to know if your digital channels are okay, and what you can do in order to improve them. So we will give you this kind of information. So for instance, in the asset level, you'll see that you can get to know what's happening to your form, what is happening with your document, what is happening with your blog entries, with your web contents, of course. You get to know that in order to take decisions, in order to know what is going to be your next step, okay? And the information is going to be very accurate, very detailed, like the percentage of abandonment, the reading time in a blog, etc. So with Liferay DXP, if you connect Liferay Analytics Cloud with Liferay DXP, of course, is library to library, but without doing nothing, you have that kind of metrics, okay? Exact metrics of web contents, blogs, forms, documents, and more that we will be leveraging soon. This is a kind of graphic with different metrics here, like, for instance, we have the abandon percentage. In this specific field, 12% of the people are abandoning my form. You may remember yesterday Mateo's talk about forms, library forms. So yes, it happens. Well, maybe this is not a real sample, but it happens that 12% of my users abandon the form within the first field. Let's study that. Let's see what's happening there. And we also have time, which is the average time that the user spends in this specific field, and how many users come back to the form in that specific field to correct something. Okay, this is good piece of information, good sample. And path. We are also providing a kind of graphic in order to show you how people arrive to your pages. So you have a landing page, you have a home page, and what are the usual paths? What is the customer journey, again, to reach the final destination? Okay, we have this kind of metrics, and it will help you to decide, again, your next step. What about understanding your audience better? We need to understand our audience better. We need to know our customers, even unknown customers, unknown users, or known customers. And we need that single truth data, okay? So in the end, we try to provide statistics at customer level, okay? Statistics individual per individual. Of course that you can group them in user segments and in accounts, but with analytics, you will see that you can have a detailed view, step by step, of a user. That user came to my platform, and that user did this at 11 o'clock, this at 11:01, etc. He visited this page, he visited this another page, he downloaded this PDF, etc. Maybe a little bit scary, but it's what you get, okay? For known and non users, and then what do you benefit from? You can refine, you can improve your assets, okay? And that single customer view that I'm talking about, as we can mix different channels, different origins of data, we will see that we are enriching the profile of our users. So maybe you have properties that come from the website itself, like name, surname, email, etc. But maybe you have other properties, like the company he works for, the number of employees that are working for that company in particular, for that user. So this kind of data that you may have in a form that was filled because, I don't know, a symposium, then we are going to mix all of these data origins and trying to give you this unified view, okay? This single customer view, at least in the analytics part, in the analytics side. In order to what? In order to understand how are they behaving in your site, okay? In order to gain that kind of effectiveness in your channels. And in the end, you will see later that we are also offering interesting statistics with additional business logic in order to have interests, discover interests, and having engagement metrics in your pages, in your assets, etc. And finally, in this same benefit, we'll see that it's very easy to create user segments based on characteristics or behaviors. So we can decide that we are going to create a user segment based on the country where the people come from, because I have this information in my profile, or based on the fact that they have visited this page, they have purchased this product with Liferay Commerce, they have downloaded this PDF with whatever information, etc. I can create segments, and I can get deeper. I can refine those segments. Liferay Analytics Cloud will provide me the tools in order to discover more segments, okay? In our roadmap, there's also automatic segment creation, etc. But by now, what we have is at least we are offering information to you, so you will see that, okay, you have that segment, but if you break down, if you get deeper, then maybe your conclusions are going to change. Maybe your conclusions will be different, okay? So that's with the user segments. Finally, so we want that you have information in us in order to have a competitive advantage within your competency, okay? The other enterprises. So if you get to know better your customer, if you get to know how your audience is using your channels, etc., you will have very good information that you can use. So here is where we offer that kind of business intelligence. Okay, we take all the data, we process it with that non-SQL databases, etc., and on top of that, we start showing you things that you may didn't know about. Okay, this is the final goal of analytics. We have all the information, all the page views, all the users interacting, and then what can we offer? What can we discover for you? So here we have some samples. We have interests here. So this particular user is interested on developer, white paper, resource, how many views across how many pages, how is this interest evolving across in the timeline. And then if I go a little bit further with a specific interest, then I see this kind of graphic. We'll see later better in the demo, don't worry right now. But it's like telling me that the evolution and also the number of views during the different timeline, okay? So here is September and October, etc. So how is it evolving? How, and in the end, what we want to give you is this power to discover things that with all that huge amount of data, you cannot discover if you don't have that specific tools, okay? This Liferay Analytics Cloud. So again, discovering new segments also, okay? So we can offer you this kind of graphics where you can break down by different properties, say that you have a segment that is only going to take care about users who are developers, for instance, but then we offer you this new information that you may not aware of. So we are saying, well, yeah, or here it was like the country, and now you can see that in this country you have developers, then CTOs, then whatever other information. And you can decide to break down and to create a new segment and analyze again all the information. Okay, you'll see how many people are in the segment and what are their interests, what are their engagement level. And remember that this kind of information will be available for the user segment, for the persona that belongs to the user segment, but also for the account. Okay, we have accounts and we have the users grouped in different accounts, business or company by company. We will have that information at that level also. So more or less, these are the 3 specific benefits that we want to offer with Analytics Cloud. Later, I will show you a demonstration on how it works. There's now you'll see there's a very easy to use URL that you can use. We have help.liferay.com. everything about Analytics Cloud is there. Okay, we have pretty good documentation, help.liferay.com about Analytics Cloud. And later, you'll see the demonstration that I've prepared. Now, where are we? Where are going to be in the last weeks? Okay, I want to share with you our roadmap, the roadmap of our product. And as you can see, first important news is about official release. The official release is going to happen at the end of this month, okay? At the end of this current month. So from the 1st of November, November the 1st, Analytics Cloud, it will be ready for all of you that want to use it. I'm not mentioning pricing in this talk, but just to summarize it, we have 3 different tiers in Analytics Cloud. We have a free tier that any current DSP customer can use. So this is a free tier. And from November the 1st, you can ask your account manager. Of course, there's a process, etc. But you can use it. If you are a customer of Liferay DSP, you have a free tier. This free tier has some limitations, like 1,000 known users and 300,000 page views. Okay, it has some limitations, but you can use it. It's a free tier. Then we have a basic tier and an enterprise tier. Okay, the enterprise tier goes until 1,000. Okay, 5 zeros, 1 and 5 zeros, number of users, okay? But you'll see all the information about this, and there are prices, of course, but the good news is that you have this free tier that you can try. Okay, so this will happen next week, at the end of next week. And we have data centers ready in North America, in Latin America, but also in Europe. So what about GDPR? GDPR is an important matter. So at the end of this year, we will be fully compliant, but that doesn't mean that you cannot use it right now from November, okay, since November. You can use it right now because there are many things that we can configure. For instance, we can decide to send every data anonymized. All the data, in fact, all the data that is related to pages and assets travels anonymized, so there's no problem at all with that. And if we are talking about people, what are doing my users, then of course you will need some additional ways of getting to the permission of the user, okay? In Q4 of 2018, what we will be covering is an automatic way of offering this kind of information, okay? Like the cookies, then we can start to gain the metrics, etc. But right now, you can use it. Or maybe you have an intranet and people have signed whatever contract, etc. So there's no problem in using this. More things. In the end of this year, we will provide more data sources. Okay, remember that now we have CSV and Liferay DXP. At the end of the year, we will be providing Liferay 6.2 and non-Liferay information. This is very important. Our collectors that take the statistics are agnostic enough in order to obtain information from any kind of system. Okay, if you have a corporate website in another technology, we can get information from that. They are agnostic enough for that. What happens is that if you are using Liferay DXP, without doing nothing, you have this kind of very rich information at asset level. If you are using another technology, without doing nothing, you will have very good information, but maybe you need something a little bit more in order to configure a little bit more in order to have the same information that you would have from a Liferay DXP data source, okay? We will be also providing the information at account level. Okay? This is not ready right now. In the demo that I'm going to do, we won't see the information at account level, but this will be this year, okay? And connecting also to Salesforce and other data sources in order to have, again, this single account view with all the information related to that account. What about 1 year plan? What about next year? Okay, remember that this is software as a service, so it's easier for us to improve it, to include, to add new capabilities every month, every 2 months. So we'll be adding these kind of things, okay? So we have some different methods here, like for instance, actionability. This is something that we're gonna focus for next year. 7.2, remember Rui talking yesterday about audience targeting and Analytics Cloud. Of course, they are going to be together, and they are going to give you the direct power to switch things. Not only analyze things and then switch, but to switch things, to change things at the moment they are happening. Of course, that we will be providing APIs for all of that, so then from external systems, you can analyze the information. And we will be providing new ways of creating your own statistics, your own custom events, okay? So now we provide downloaded, visited, purchased with commerce is also on its way, etc. Different actions, different events that happen. But we will be providing more in the next several months, okay? So that's it from my side. I hope that more or less the information was clear. Later we'll see that demo, trying to let you touch the product, okay? And of course, I'm ready for any question that you may have. Thank you very much.